What's up, friend? You are you interested in lack of skill? Yeah. Or maybe some suck. I'm just a new guy for the love of game. Wait, don't go. I know it's bad. Times have changed, but not my mad. Don't you know that games are my thing? Yeah, I know it's getting real late. Come on, look at me. I even do storytelling. Also, podcasts on great game subjects. Okay, yeah, I'm not a Markiplier or a PewDiePie. But hey, that's what makes me so unique, right? Right?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Niko Show. Episode 111. I think I just clicked the settings option. I did. That's not the entourage I was hoping for. Yes, there we go. I accidentally clicked the settings option in OBS. Hey, it happens. So how's everybody doing? Welcome. This is the 111th episode of the Niko Show. I'm a little behind right now, but bear with me. You know, these shows are just getting harder and harder to do every time. No, not really. So we're here once again, ladies and gentlemen, and guess what we're doing today? This is part 3 of Japan's top 100 video games of all time. And if you haven't been keeping up with the list so far, I mean, you'll see the link in the description below. But yeah, we're literally going game by game down the list from 100 all the way to 1. And part 3 starts at 39 with Dark Souls 3. Now that's a big one. That's a big one. So we're gonna try to get as far as we can within the hour. That's what I like to do, pretty much, is try to get through this within the hour, within the allotted time. Who knows? This might be not a finale. There might be a part 4. So I know the views on YouTube are really showing that excitement. Anyway, I'm your host, NikoTheLegend, also known as the well-mannered teenager, the snowflake, rambling idiot, and Vigil. If you like what you see today, folks, you can check me out on YouTube, Discord, Spotify. Anyway, you know, all the links will be in the description below. And this article, this article, very important. Japan's list of their favorite video games voted. I've been kind of disappointed with it. A bit disappointed. And as we go further down this list, it's a bit heart-wrenching. Oh, so I hope you guys are doing well. Yes, I hope you're ready for this, ready for that. And you know, guys, we're still going to be doing the live stream. Well, we're not doing live streams right now, not until we get to the 5 subscribers away from 1,000 on YouTube. It's like climbing Mount Olympus for me while wearing a pyramid on my back. It's impossible, right? Imagine how I feel. It's impossible. For some reason, I have to go at a snail's pace on YouTube because they don't want to give me the light of day. For some reason, I am not on their radar and won't be for a very long time. Maybe, if not ever. But hey, if I just got past 100,000 subscribers, I'd be pretty happy. But anyway, yeah, so we'll be doing that fun live stream. And then don't worry, we're going to be still getting some special guests on here, you know, on the show. And we'll do one final shameless plug. Let's Plop. Hey, you remember the good old days of doing Let's Plays with your buddies or listening to other Let's Play channels that would do funny commentary from the games that they play that you may finally remember or never even heard of. But you get a good kick out of it and you're laughing at these two jokesters or whatever, these two losers playing these games and talking while the action is going on. Well, you're in luck. A text message. Let's Plop is that. Bringing back the glory days of Let's Play with 2 people commentating. And I'm the main guy, and then it's literally just a dumping ground of me having special guests on each game we play, and we just have a good time for the most part. If it's Dino Crisis, then it's not so much. But hey, here we are. So yeah, I'm just like you. I'm kind of sick of just YouTube. A lot of people just posting Twitch highlights or just long play, like the episodes on YouTube for games are getting way longer. I miss the easy digestible episodes of 10 to 15 minutes where it's just an episode a day. Boom. You can go on with it, have a good laugh, find some entertainment value. There we go. Anyway, that's Let's Plop. I hope you check it out because it's It's that's also going at a snail's pace, but even if it's like 2 snails fused into one, it'd be even slower. Is that how it works? Is that how it works? I don't know. This ain't no Goku Vegeta, fusing in Vegito or Gogeta or something where they go shoo so much faster. So folks, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for this list because there's a lot to get through. So let's get the entourage in here. There is no entourage.
You're gonna see what Jimmy Wheel is all about.
So like I said before, this is part 3 or finale. I don't know yet, depending on how fast we get through this. So what I do, I go through one by one, bit by bit, and list the games in the numerical order going from the 100 down to 1. And each game I list, I kind of talk about if I have it, I talk about my experience playing it, if I played it, or I give some background of the game, some details. I kind of just talk about it just for a little bit, and then we move on. So, number 39 is Dark Souls 3. Now, I'm glad that we started off with a bang, because this game should definitely be closer to 1. I mean, it was an upset. I was so upset that Bloodborne was way up on the list. I think Bloodborne, if I remember, was in the 60s. We can actually look right now. Where are you, Bloodborne? 67. So Japan likes Dark Souls 3 more than Bloodborne, and I don't know how to feel about that because Bloodborne is my favorite Soulsborne game. And then comes Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, and Dark Souls 2 and 1. They're all great games, don't get me wrong. I love them all. I'm still playing Elden Ring. I'm close to 200 hours, but shoot, Dark Souls 3, really? That far up? Anyway, so Dark Souls 3, I had a great time when that game came out. I have it for PC. I have it for the Xbox One. I got it for Xbox One because this is when I was still a bit of a noob with my PC build. It wasn't the most tech-intensive out there at the time, So back in 2016 when this game came out, I was so ready to play this game. I was so excited. Me and my Wookiee, my roommate Deal were so amped for this game that we, went to the whatever. I don't remember if they had a midnight launch. I think they did. They did. So my friend bought it digitally. I went to the GameStop closest to me, which was just at the mall. It was literally like a 10-minute drive. I picked it up, got the day 1 edition, which is great because it comes with the soundtrack. And the soundtrack is, if you know as much as I do about this music in, Dark Souls 3, it's a banger. So, real excited to get that. And him and I, guess what? Guess what else we did? So we were like, okay, we got our gaming stuff. What else you need when you're gaming with a homie to play this game, hours on it? You need some food, right? You gotta have something to keep you alive and awake. So we went to the nearest grocery store, bought like 2 pounds of sliced meat, and 2 pounds of cheese, and a bunch of bread, and mayonnaise and tomatoes, like diced tomatoes and mayonnaise. Oh, I'm telling you, that's all we ate for a week straight, because that's how long we played this game. Oh, I was obsessed with this game when it came out. I love the aesthetic. I like the dark fantasy vibes they went this time around. It has some Bloodborne isms in it from the darkness. We're going to talk about the darkness a lot. Some really grotesque imagery and some twisted, sickening things. It was a great time, and man, we played it a week straight, and then I kind of stopped playing Dark Souls 3 for a time, and then I got back into it when I got it for PC many years later, and got to over 200 hours in that. I think on consoles I only had it on around 60 something. So in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't seem that much because those games are pretty much the best replay value you'll ever get. With all the different character builds and stuff, the characters you create, the weapons you get, the bosses you kill. The bosses are always the best part in these games, at least for me. And then of course the weapons you get. I just remember going through the game bit by, boss to boss, exploring every nook and cranny, and just finding all these cool different things, etc. All the above: armor, weapons, enemies, lore, fending off against invaders. Just everything. I was just blown away by just the graphics of the game too. The presentation value was just amazing. So that's Dark Souls 3. That's I could talk about it all day if I wanted to, but we gotta move on. It's definitely one of my favorite games I've ever played. It's a great time. Now I'm playing Elden Ring. But playing Elden Ring makes me miss playing Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. So maybe one day we'll go back to those games. So 38, Puyo Puyo. I don't know what that game is, so we're just going to move on to... Now 37 is my favorite game of all time and the game I love the most out of everything is Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX, my friends, is a fantastic Final Fantasy game, if not the best to me, my opinion. And just so I love it so much. It's such a great time. I recommend anybody who has heard of this game or has never heard of it, but you've been jonesing for an old school JRPG, play Final Fantasy IX. You won't regret it. Okay, you will not regret this game. So Final Fantasy IX, quick origin story. I was young and I played it. No, just kidding. This is when I lived in California about 3.5 years, ages from like 9 to 12 or 9 to 11, whatever. I think it was, 9 to 12, 3.5, 4 years. And I had some close friends there. I had 4 brothers. I was all very close with them. And they all played games and stuff. The oldest brother, who was about 6 years apart from me, the rest of them were around my age, so I'm 32, so it was, one brother was 12, the other one was 11, the other one was like 9 or 10, so it's interesting, right? And then, then you got the oldest. But the oldest was the one that showed me a lot of different JRPGs I never heard of, like Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Dark Cloud, Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy, pretty much all the Final Fantasies he showed me, so on and so forth. And then motherfucking Final Fantasy IX, I remember just playing that game. I'm just like, dude, this game is awesome. Like, this game's opening it's got one of the best openings to any game, the best prologue or beginning mission that I've seen for any game. Like, this game does such a great job on giving you an idea of how expansive the world can be. Final Fantasy VII did a great job too. Don't get me wrong. Final Fantasy VII is usually the one that everybody likes. They did a great job with the opening on that. The bombing run mission is amazing. But Final Fantasy IX, I felt like it was more of a, fantastical adventure. It was medieval fantasy stuff. Final Fantasy VII is more steampunk, more, I guess, in a way, a modern approach. But, yeah, dude, I was hooked on this motherfucking game as soon as I played. I fell in love with everything about it. And I played it many, many years after that. I still play it to this day. I still love it to death. Got it pretty much on every platform. To this, PlayStation, PlayStation 4, 5, I guess you can count that. The Switch and PC. I mean, shit, dude. I was super excited. Now, one big memory I have of this when I first played it. So I talked about the brothers, the friends there were 4 brothers, right? So the 3 younger brothers, which are the ones I hung out with the most, I would say 2 out of the 3 were playing it around the same time. I didn't have this game at first. I didn't even have a PlayStation at the time. That was way later. Or maybe I did have it, but I didn't have Final Fantasy IX. Whatever, vice versa. There was one part in the game where, I love these guys to death, or I did at the time. But they did not treat the disc very well, so they had a bunch of scratches. Every game they had was just fucked, like so many scratches on the back and everything. They just didn't care. But the game somehow ran until we got to this one cutscene in disc 3. There's 4 discs to this game. It's a very long game. Well, nowadays it wouldn't be considered that long, but back in the day, you're like, holy shit. That's how great the adventure was. But it would freeze always at this one cutscene, and I could never get past it until I actually had to buy the game for myself. It was very, very frustrating. But it worked for one of the brothers, and nobody else. Like, nobody else can get past it. It was at such a climactic moment happening in the game. It was ridiculous. So anytime I see that cutscene in today, 2022, I'm like, oh, and I shit my pants. Good joke? No. But anyway, that's Final Fantasy IX. You might see me stream it. You might see me talk. I talk about it all the fucking time. Play this game. I recommend it. Now, big banger right after this. Oh my god. Like, in the past 4 games, just bangers. That's Puyo Puyo. I don't know what that is. 36, Pokemon Gold and Silver. Favorite generation of Pokemon. Because, look, when I was a kid, Pokemon was my fucking jam. I'm sure I talked about it I've talked about Pokemon so much on the Niko show, it's not even funny. But Pokemon, Blue and Red, I got into Blue back when it first was released, when I was a kid, when everything started picking up Pokemon, right? Cards, shows, music, movies, and games. And I played the hell out of Pokemon Blue and Yellow, right? And then motherfucking Pokemon Gold and Silver comes out, and it's everything I loved about the first generation, but even better. It was like a true sequel to the first game. So much so that the end game has you go back to Kanto region after you're done with Johto and beating the Pokemon League. So that kind of gives you an idea. It like continues the story, and it is so great. So anyway, this is the first Pokemon game that was in color, really, the mainline entry. So Pokemon Red and Blue, if you had Red, you see the game the graphics are in red because it wasn't a Game Boy Color game, and then Blue was blue, and then actually Yellow version had more color to it. But I don't think that was a Pokemon Game Boy Color game. Anyway, second gen was great. Like everything I loved about the first game was just, it was like Pokemon on roids. It was amazing. So I always, speaking of which, this game I had such a good time that I do Pokemon randomizer Nuzlocke on stream once a blue moon. But I used to do it every fucking day with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which are the remakes of Gold and Silver. It's my favorite game, in case you couldn't tell. And if you don't know what randomizer Nuzlocke are, just think of all the Pokemon you would normally find in this bush, around the world. Pause. And we're back. Sorry about that. So just picture all the Pokemon where they normally spawn, or which trainers you fight and stuff that have this certain Pokemon. Just all that. All the Pokemon in their static spawns, right? Well, Randomizer throws it out the window and just puts whatever Pokemon it fucking wants in this bush, in this trainer, and everything. It's great. That's the Randomizer. All the Pokemon, random spawns. The Nuzlocke is the permadeath type of approach to Pokemon. You name all the Pokemons, you catch one Pokemon per route, or you have one chance to catch one Pokemon per route. If you don't catch it on your first try, you don't get it. And then if it dies for good. And then you got to keep moving on. And once you're out of Pokemon, that's it. Then it's game over, sonny. So that stuff was a good time. And I like doing it in Pokemon Gold and Silver, second generation. Now we're getting an 8th generation Pokemon game this year. And I'm excited for that. So Pokemon Gold and Silver, check it out. So 35, Xenoblade 2. Is it talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 2? I never played that game, because if it is talking about the one on the Switch, which is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was announced, so Monolith Soft is, people really like the Xenoblade story. I mean, I had Xenoblade Definitive Edition, in which I had a great time and stuff. That was a fun game to play, but yeah, Xenoblade 2, I didn't buy that game because the trailer was really cringy, and it was just a typical, like, anime, tropey as fuck. I don't know how to really describe it. Cutscene and dialogue, like very, like talking about, we're gonna fight for our friends, we're gonna save this planet, and we just work together and put our hearts together, like some cheesy ass shit Kingdom Hearts dialogue. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And I'm like, I don't know if I want this game because it doesn't seem very deep with its dialogue. And that's why I don't like Kingdom Hearts anymore. But when you play like an old school Final Fantasy game or any old school JRPG, you're like, oh, this is actually good. Like there's some deep meaning in this game. Yeah. So Xenoblade 2, never played it. Maybe one day. It's still fucking expensive, and people need to stop selling these Nintendo games so expensive. But it's a huge game. I don't got time for it. I'm focused on Elden Ring, and then Ghostwire Tokyo is going to be after Elden Ring. Once I reach 200 hours. So Final Fantasy V. That's number 34. Wow, a lot of Final Fantasies in this list. Final Fantasy V. I can't tell you the amount of times I've actually tried beating this game and playing it. It's not a bad game. For some reason, I just find another game and just play it. It's really not bad. I do like Final Fantasy V. I like the old school Final Fantasies, like 4, 5, and 6. They really are pretty fun to play. I think I was just so engrossed in the 3D Final Fantasies, like 7 and 9, and definitely not 8, but 10 even, and just 9 and 7 are the ones I like to play the most. But Final Fantasy V is good. They have the class system. There's so many different classes you can pick for your characters. It's a great time. Decent story, always great music and stuff like that. But I'm sure a lot of people have their favorite Final Fantasy, and it could be 5. Now this next one, I don't understand why it's not further down the list. Final Fantasy 6. 33. Look, I'm always going to think Final Fantasy 9 should be number 1 on anybody's Final Fantasy radar, but, you know, here we are. Final Fantasy 6 is beloved by so many fans. It's a lot of people's favorite Final Fantasy, and I don't blame them because it, you know, from the first 75% of the game is masterpiece, and then the last 25% is just garbage, my opinion. When it goes from straight fucking concrete, dope as shit linear gameplay and storytelling, and then it just turns into this really boring post-apocalyptic open world experience that doesn't really flow well at all. And you're searching for your friends, and it's the most convoluted way of finding your friends. It doesn't help that the end look, I know, I get it. Final dungeon's supposed to be hard and difficult, but this is just obnoxious and really badly designed. Every enemy just, let's just say the difficulty spike is insane, and of course you can go with the excuse of grinding. Yeah, what if I don't want to grind 50 fucking levels and just I want to challenge it 10 levels? You know, just level up 10 times, not 30 or 40. Anyway, I know I did a whole stream of it on my channel. You could check out the stream playthrough. Also, Kefka, he can fucking die because it took me 40 minutes to get to his final form. I couldn't beat it. I just blah. Anyway, I just Final Fantasy 6 is great. Just I don't like the open world whole approach they went with. It's like they ran out of things to do or cartridge space. Because that's it. There's really no story at the entire point. If you count finding your teammates part of the story elements, I'm like, not really. They're all optional to get. So they're not even the main story. Okay, 32, Resident Evil. Ooh, that is a classic game, right? Horror, survival horror. When Capcom was really put on the fucking radar, dude. Well, that's not necessarily true, but survival horror. I would say so, unless you count Sweet Home, but I never heard about that until, like a year ago? year or two ago? But, dude, Resident Evil, who didn't love the cringy storytelling and the fucking cringy dialogue and the live-action cutscenes and the horrible voice acting? Oh, it was great. But that's what made it special, because the game itself is really fucking good. Now, I never played the OG Resident Evil. I played the director's cut version. I didn't play the version before that. And then they got the remake on the GameCube, and they did Capcom fucking blew my mind with that when that game came out. It was so fucking awesome. That game to this date is still considered one of the best horror games of all time, in my opinion. That game is such a blast to play and very difficult. And you know, I you know what? I just say it. I'll just say it. If you ever want to play a survival horror game that can kick your ass and still scare the shit out of you, Resident Evil, like the remake version that you can get, you know, in current gen, is so worth it. So anyway, yeah, this is the game that invented the Jill sandwich. You know, this is the game that I got used to with fixed camera angles and all that, and dealing with red zombies that run at you, and traps and puzzles and a lot of backtracking. But it made you think, though. It was cool. You really had to think about how you approach certain situations. That's what made it survival horror. What kind of resources should I be using in this hallway, or how do I get that shotgun? Well, how do I solve this puzzle or something? You know, you just had like, what enemy? Okay, there's these enemies in this room with this puzzle in the way. How do I go about this? I only have like 2 bullets and a knife. That's the type of shit you had to do. And if you ran out of bullets and health and all that, you're fucked. Like the early Resident Evil games, you had to really, really try your best to survive with limited resources. It was crazy. You know, like nowadays they do, like in Dead Space, they would do like a survivor mode or resource mode, and you would have limited ammo and stuff, and you had to get through the game. Resident Evil was like that without any mode to pick. Although, could you pick normal or hard in that game? I don't remember. But anyway, it was limited resources all around. It's the game that started it all, baby. Woo! And I say Capcom has done an amazing job with Resident Evil all the way from 1 to 4. Okay. Tactics Ogre. Number 31. I don't know too much about this game. I think it's another JRPG or something, or a strategy game. All I know is that I've been seeing it recently on Twitter about people want this game to come back with a pixel remaster like they're doing with Live Alive. And doing it with Dragon Quest 3 pixel remaster, and then Squaresoft's been doing Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel remasters. So they want to bring this back. I don't know too much about it. I like it. I like the name. Tactics Ogre is kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of Triangle Strategy. Pick your poison. Which Triangle Strategy is great because that reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics. So don't know much about it. Hey, if you guys are listening, let me know down in the comments below. Okay, I didn't think Japan would sink this low at number 30. Apex Legends, really, Japan? You find Apex Legends better than Final Fantasy 9, Dark Souls 3, Xenogears, fucking Bloodborne, Super Mario World, Pokemon? What? Apex Legends? Japan? Oh my god. Trust me, if you look at the other 2 videos I've done on this topic, you will understand why this list is so bombastic. Like, I can't believe Japan would stoop so low. But Apex Legends beats Final Fantasy. What? Like, that's insane. That's so fucking crazy. Oh, I can't believe that. Anyway, Battle Royale games. Sick of them, tired of them, don't care about them. Go away, die. All right, next one. Okay, 29, Okami. So, Okami, it's like Capcom's Legend of Zelda, which I'm surprised they brought back the first one in HD, but they never brought back the second one, which I don't understand why. Because Okami is I like Okami. I like playing, Amaterasu, this dog god or demon or whatever you want to. I'm sorry, I'm butchering Japanese lore right now, but you play this awesome dog. Kind of reminds you of Twilight Princess in a way, but you're playing this nice Japanese, like the graphics will remind you of like Japanese calligraphy, like art painting and stuff like that. It's really cool. Like a lot of brush strokes and stuff here and there. Just really cool aesthetic and neat characters. And I played it through once. I have it for the PS4, and I had a decently good time, but there were some really frustrating moments in the game. Like, I really didn't like the digging game where you had to get the water to shoot out or something, like the geyser. I didn't really like that much. I remember getting frustrated. Maybe now if I played it, maybe I'd do better. But and there was like another thing that annoyed me. I think it was like the combat or locking on. There was something obnoxious about it that I didn't like. But everything else about the game is fantastic. I never played Okami 2, so anybody who has played it, let me know. Yeah, HD version of Okami 2 or a third game. I think it'd be cool if we had Amaterasu as a character in Smash. He would have been another Capcom character. Would have been really cool. Well, they had to put Sora in, so I would have really enjoyed another Capcom character. I know we got Mega Man, we got Ryu and Ken, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. You know how many fucking popular, how many amazing Capcom like heroes and stars are from, like, that they could use that would make people happy. Shit, man. I don't think people would complain too much. They complain if it's a Fire Emblem character, which I can't stand. But I like Fire Emblem, but I don't want 50 Fire Emblem characters. Okay, 28, Mother 2. I can't say too much about this game except, fuck, what the fuck? Wait, Mother 2? Mother 3 is Earthbound on the Super Nintendo, right? Yeah. And then Mother, or is that, shit, I don't remember. Anyway, if this is talking about the one that never came to the States, yeah, Japan, get the fuck on it. All right, next one. 27, Dragon Quest 11. Okay, Dragon Quest 11 is definitely one of the best JRPGs I ever played. A really long game, but worth it every step of the way. Man, my friend and I got this day one, and we pretty much no-lifed this game for 2 months straight. That's how much we played this game. Like, it was just constant, because there was so much to do. Great storyline, great storytelling, great classic JRPG. Graphics are great. It was just a good JRPG. Everybody knows what a good JRPG is like, right? Well, this is that type of game. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend picking it up before Dragon Quest 12 comes out. Yeah. Okay, Pokemon Black and White 26. I don't really care for Black and White. Wait, or is that Black and White 2? I know I tried one of these games to stream. Oh, no. Yeah, I tried one of these games to stream. Randomizer Nuzlocke, and I remember not having a good time. I think that might have been Black and White too, though. Now, it's funny. Growing up, I stopped playing Pokemon for a long-ass time, actually. After Gen 3, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I didn't play Pokemon for, oh my god, not until Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out. I don't know why. I just stopped. I think I just was just focusing on other games to play. I just fell out of it really easily. But at the time, I didn't play Diamond and Pearl. I didn't play Black and White. I didn't play Black and White 2. And it wasn't until Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out that I'm like, okay, I'm fucking getting back on Pokemon. And I'm so glad I did. I picked Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm telling you, that's my favorite Pokemon game still. And I talked about it in previous episodes that went to Walmart to pick it up at midnight, and I got the giant-ass box that's worth like over $500. I don't have the giant-ass box, but I got every single thing. I got everything else. I got box, game, all the booklets, and even the little PokeNav thing, little Poke device. When I'm desperate for money and I don't want to, I don't want to do anything criminal related, I'll just sell that and make my millions. Okay, 25, Tetris. It's Tetris. Need I say more? I mean, I played my mom's Tetris game on the original Game Boy, and that's pretty much what everybody did for a while. I remember I bought Tetris for the PlayStation 1, and that was pretty fun to play. I still have it. But it's Tetris. I'm not really a big block stacker, puzzle guy anyway. Puzzle stacker? What's the genre of Tetris? Anyway, so Tetris is Tetris. Everybody's tried Tetris out. I consider Tetris being up there with like Mario on everybody trying out at least once. But, I digress. 24, Pokemon Red and Green. So Japan had green and red version, and I guess America had blue and red. So green had the female protagonist. I don't understand why they did this. I don't know. I never bothered to look it up why green version never made it over to the States. No, I actually think Japan also had red. Blue. I think they had all three. I don't remember. It's confusing. Like sometimes that happens. Like Japan gets this version and we get a completely different version. It's happened with Final Fantasy plenty of times. So yeah, what can I say is that Pokemon Red and Green I consider like blue and red, right? Pretty much same fucking thing. Just whatever. Origin story of Pokemon is, like I said before, with Pokemon Gold and Silver. I played the fuck out of it. First saw the show, rented it from a store, watched it, fell in love with it, learned about the games, the shows, more of the show on TV, the music, the movies, and the cards. I was doing it all, and just merchandise the fuck out of my life. And I wore the Pokemon attire. My fourth grade yearbook picture is me wearing a Pikachu shirt. I like that shirt. It was a good one. So yeah, it started real young. Oh my god. Fucking crazy, right? Look at me now! I'm wearing a frog now instead of a Pikachu. I'm wearing Chrono. I'm wearing Frog. This is my mascot. This is where I get all the references. Hey, you see this? This is the guy that led to the frog form of me on YouTube. Okay, anyway. So that's Red and Green. Oh, 23, Fire Emblem Three Houses. The only Fire Emblem game I ever gave two shits about playing because, for one, it looked fucking awesome, and two, it's for the Switch. It's modern Fire Emblem. And my god, that's a great tactical RPG game, strategy RPG game. I recommend playing it if you have a Switch. It's long, but fuck, it's worth playing. It's so good. It's very addicting. It's like Life Sim meets JRPG, and it's like almost like Persona in a way. Building relationships and being in a school and, having a day and night system or calendar system, whatever the fuck. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, I streamed the hell out of that, and my buddy Dre used to watch me all the time playing that. And yeah, dude, he was like, this game looks fucking sick. Because it was. 22, Animal Crossing New Leaf. Let's just say I stopped playing. I traded it in to get something else. It was for the 3DS. I don't know. I gave Animal Crossing a chance. My ex-fiance and I were playing it. And we're like, yeah, this is cool. And then we stopped. And then, many moons later, New Horizons comes out. And I spent over 100 hours in that game. I spent a good amount of time in that game. To me, that's enough. And I'm like, that's it. I'm like, this is it. This is all you do. You just do chores and find ways to decorate your island. And I'm like, I don't care about decorating, exterior, interior decorating. I don't know how people find this interesting, but they do. They do. I like a game with it just gets boring. You know, it's just tedious stuff to do, in my opinion. I like games with story, in a mission, or just something to get me going. I don't want to just stay in point A and never get to point B, if that makes sense. You know, I like a change of scenery once in a while. So I'm not gonna trade in New Horizons because, you know, it's a fun game to play. Don't get me wrong, it's very addicting. But it does get boring after a while. Like, you have to really come up with stuff to do to get your time out of it. It's a fun co-op game, though. You know, it's a great game to play with a girlfriend or boyfriend. I played it with an ex-girlfriend of mine for many months, and it was a good time. So, but like I said, we got bored. So, 21, Splatoon. Don't care about Splatoon, but I'm glad Nintendo does have a competitive shooter on its belt, and Splatoon 3 comes out this year, and people love Splatoon. And it's an interesting, silly game. I'll say that. But playing it on the Wii U, I didn't really like it too much. I didn't like the control scheme. Splatoon 2 could be good on the Switch, but I just never cared to get into it. But I'm glad Splatoon is in Smash Brothers. But Splatoon 3 looks kind of neat. So 19, Suikoden 2. Oh my goodness. Suikoden 2. Japan. At least you got this shit right. Suikoden 2. I have been streaming that game, and I played... Okay, this is one of the most expensive games to buy on the internet. Suikoden 2. The Suikoden franchise the series I've been playing through on stream. Not currently, because I'm playing Chrono Cross and streaming Elden Ring, because they both came out kind of, 1 month after another, close to it. And then, I was playing Suikoden 1, beat it, Suikoden 2, beat it, and then Suikoden 3, currently streaming, and then put it on pause because of Chrono Cross, really, and Elden Ring. So, Suikoden 2, I had my good buddy Deal tell me about Suikoden. I remember faintly in the past that what this game was about, how you recruit so many teammates, party members, over 100, right? It's crazy. And they're all really awesome, by the way. Well, 99% of them. I don't care about Gengar or Genji, whatever the fuck. Kobold, short demi-human guy. I don't really care about him. But Suikoden 2, fantastic series. Konami of all fucking companies made this series. Fucking Konami. You remember when they used to make games? I remember too. I maybe where the mema berries. But they killed it with Suikoden. And people will always say the first two is the best. They killed it with the first two games. I'd say I'm having a blast playing the third game, don't get me wrong. But it's a very different approach they went this time around. But I loved it. And then I'll get through Suikoden 4 and 5. Anyway, Suikoden 2, you have to try it. This is one of the most... This is an obscure series, by the way. And surprising to see how high up it is. Or, close to one it is on the list. So Japan knows what's up. I think it's just everybody else that doesn't know too much. And this game it's based on Chinese mythos, Chinese stories, which is crazy. So when you play it, you'll see what I mean. It's got a very Chinese mythical vibe to it. It's really great. And you wouldn't think Konami would actually care about China and their mythology, but well, I stand corrected. Great series, you should play it. Number 18, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. This is the only Metal Gear Solid game I really give a shit about. Well, besides 5 for gameplay, not for story. But Metal Gear Solid 3 nailed it on both ends. Although it does have its force-feeding useless information at times. It's not... 90% of the cutscenes, it's worth it. It actually progresses a story, and it's not like... Hideo Kojima is a fucking hack anyway. I think he's a terrible game designer. I really don't like the guy. Because a lot of his games are so self-indulgent and just... He really does a good job on thinking you're just an idiot and you don't know anything about anything. So he just force feeds you historical information or facts that don't really have anything to do with progressing the story. It's just Here you go. Oh, history class 101. Look at me. I know this. Even though he probably didn't know half the shit he was putting into his games. He had historians on his side that he paid. But, and then, yeah. Snake Eater is such a great game. They did a great job with survival mechanics. I mean, who doesn't love throwing snakes at a person and they fall asleep or get poisoned or something? Yeah. You can do that in the game while sneaking around with your camo on. And they did a great job on putting this in back during the Cold War. Great story, great introduction to the whole Big Boss mythos and the story. You get to see how good old Naked Snake turns into Big Boss, and it's a great time, man. It's a great fucking time. You can't forget the almighty famous ladder scene, right? So, 17. Oh my god, dude, we're getting some heavy hitters now. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. So, I said Final Fantasy IX is number 1, right? Top 3 favorite video games is Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy IX, and Mega Man X. Ocarina of Time is... It was the first Zelda game I've ever owned. It was on the console, the N64, the first console I ever owned. And this game was mine. This was my baby. This was my pride and joy. This was a game that literally not literally, but figuratively swept me off my feet. This game, among many other people that have played it, but you know what I'm talking about. This game took over my childhood. This game I was obsessed with. It was so fucking cool and great and fun to play. I remember seeing the trailer for it, the commercial on TV, and it plays some Conan the Barbarian music. You can still check out that trailer on the internet. And they even brought that type of story trailer back for Twilight Princess when they first announced it, which was great, pays great homage to that. Ocarina of Time, the first 3D Zelda, when I played that game, I was blown away by the gameplay, the graphics, the music, the presentation. Holy shit. This was like the first 3D open world game I played, because it technically is an open world. It's a very big game, especially around that time. It's impressive that they managed to get that game to fit. Guys, you don't even understand. I used to fucking play this game, and we all have a game like that. I used to play it before going to school. I played it after I get home from school, after doing homework. I played it at night. I was playing this game all the fucking time. That's all you need to know, from start to finish. And I can't tell you how many times I started that game over and played through it. Millions of times. It's insane. It's insane. And even when I beaten it, I completed file, I would make my own fucking adventures in this game. I would pretend to... That's what I would do. I would run around in the entire world. I would go out and adventure and just make up stories and explore the world and stuff and every nook and cranny and just have a blast. My imagination ran pretty fucking wild with this game. And this is one of those games to where, okay, well, you all heard like the hidden secrets back in the day for video games before the internet became the internet as it is today, You heard rumors from your friends like, oh, hey, I heard that this character only comes out if you do this certain move or use this certain button combination or if you do this, if you go approach it at this time of the day, then this creature comes out. It's hidden shit, right? Ocarina of Time had a lot of hidden shit about it that I was so wanting to figure it out, and I don't remember where I learned it from, either from a friend or a gaming magazine like EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly, or something. But I spent a lot of time looking for the secrets. They were all false. Maybe they were in the game's coding, but I can't remember one. I remember one of them had to do with Skull Kid in Ocarina of Time in the Lost Woods. I can't remember what they talked about though, but you would just spend hours just exploring, trying to figure it out. Trust me, I spent so much time trying to figure out all the hidden shit in that game. But anyway, it's still one of my favorite games, which I need to stream that game. It's crazy. I talk about how it's my favorite game, one of my favorite games of all time, but I have never streamed it. I've streamed Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, but nothing else. And Ocarina of Time I have to stream it. I actually thought of a cool thing, game lineup for me to do was stream games of my childhood. And just have a whole list of like games that I fucking played the hell out of as a kid. And play through every single one, try to beat it as best I can, and go through. Have a blast that way. Yeah. It sounds like a long list, but I can go with like I don't know. I could set like years of like maybe like 1990 to 2000. Play all the games that I remember playing as a kid. After the N64 days, before the the original Xbox, or the Anyway, oh god, Ocarina of Time is great. What are we at for time? Oh, okay. So, Kingdom Hearts 2, number 16. I don't really want to talk about Kingdom Hearts right now. Like, Kingdom Hearts holds a bitter place in my heart because Kingdom Hearts 3 was definitely not worth the wait. Great gameplay, great graphics, but the story, still convoluted garbage, still surface. It's Disney. It's fucking Tetsuya Nomura is a great director, but he's not a great writer. He's like a George Lucas of the prequels, right? Maybe great at directing, if you want to say that. We'll give him benefit of the doubt. But horrible at writing. Like, he wrote the entire Phantom Menace script, or story, and I'm like, no. Or script, or whatever. Yeah. That's how I see Tetsuya Nomura, and his Kingdom Hearts isms infected Final Fantasy VII Remake, because the story in Final Fantasy Remake is really not that great, if you think about it, compared to the OG. And the dialogue is very Kingdom Hearts related, like very one-liner, surface level, nothing too deep. Just point A to point B. Here we go. On to the next scene. Just getting past this one scene and blah blah blah. So when Kingdom Hearts 4 is announced, I don't know why people like Kingdom Hearts so much. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't even have Squaresoft characters anymore. That's the only reason why I gave a fuck about 1 and 2, because they had Squaresoft characters, Final Fantasy characters. In 3, all they had was Mogs. The Moogles, whatever. They didn't have Cloud, Sephiroth, Leon. They didn't have fucking Aerith, Yuna. None of those motherfuckers. What the fuck, right? So, if Kingdom Hearts 4 doesn't have Final Fantasy characters, I'm not going to give a shit. If it has Star Wars in it, why would I care? Star Wars is fucking garbage these days anyway. Well, Lego Star Wars just came out. I kind of want that game. Hey, if anybody's listening out there, I want Lego Star Wars. Get me it, please. Oh, for the PS5? PS5. I don't care. Okay. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2. Although, when I played Kingdom Hearts 2 back in the day, I did have a good time. I will admit that. But, 14 games later, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, and I'm just like, this is it. And I'm like, it's just the same game. Nothing really. Anyway, gameplay graphics are great. Worlds are pretty. They could have been done better, at least in some of them. Like the Big Hero 6, they could have done something way cooler than that. It was way too short and not that in-depth. Dragon Quest 4, 15. Yeah, a lot of people like Dragon Quest 4. I think that's the one with the green-haired guys, people, right? The green-haired main character. I never really played that one, but it's expensive and people liked it a lot, quite a bit. And they brought it back. I think it came out on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, Super Nintendo. And they brought it back on the DS. So, yeah, I never got a chance to play it. I know people love... Wait. Dragon Quest 4? I think Dragon Quest 6 is the one with the Realms of Revelation. 5 is the guy with the staff. People like 5 a lot. People like 4, 5, and 6. I mean, shit, they like all the Dragon Quests. What the fuck am I talking about? I played Dragon Quest 7. I did not like that game. Okay, moving on. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Hey, number 14. Japan apparently loves Pokemon Sword and Shield. I really enjoyed Pokemon Sword and Shield either. People talk about, the Pokedex. It's just a straight line. What fucking Pokemon game isn't a straight line? For fuck's sake. You can only go so many ways in Pokemon games. This game explored the idea of open world or semi-open world aspects. The wild area was a genius idea. I'm going to knock over my green screen, then it's all over. I don't know why people... I had a great time with it. I have over 200 hours in the game. And that's not even really... Well, there was some breeding involved, but it was mainly from just playing the game normally, right? Normally it's just, collecting the Pokemon, beating the game, playing the DLC. Anyway. Great game. Fantastic. Number 13. Undertale. Never played it. But everybody loved that game. Toby Fox fucking set the world on fire with that fucking game. Let me tell you. That guy became a legend. He was the only person that developed the game, too. It's crazy. Soundtrack. It was definitely a spiritual successor to Earthbound. And it did give you some Earthbound vibes. But anyway. 12. Super Mario Kart. I still have the Super Nintendo version of Mario Kart. Yeah, it was the first Mario Kart I ever played on Super Nintendo. But it wasn't until Super Mario 64 that really, man, Nintendo wasn't fucking around on the N64, man, with their multiplayer games and Mario games especially. Fucking A, dude. Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario 64, Mario Party 2 and 3. Oh my god. This is crazy. Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. Fucking just so many Mario games. It was insane. But yeah, Super Mario Kart is probably my least favorite besides Mario 7. Mario Kart 7. Jesus. Mario Kart 7 can die in a fire. So, 11, Diamond and Pearl. Like I said previously with the Black and White, this is during the time where I didn't play Pokemon for a long time. It wasn't until I played the remakes for Diamond and Pearl, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and I had a really good time playing it. It was a pretty great game. I can see why people like it. And then Pokemon Arceus came out, and they kind of expanded more on the Diamond and Pearl mythos. It was great. I recommend it. I can see why it's on this list. All right, I have a feeling the top 10 is going to be finale part 4. Super Mario Brothers 3. Excuse me. Number 10. I can't believe that Japan likes this that much more over Super Mario World. Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3 to me are the best Mario Brother games. And people will always put them against each other. Especially the platforming 2D Mario. Super Mario World was definitely it's one of my favorite games. Blast, as I mentioned in the first part of this series, this Japan's 100 video games of all time. I knew every single nook and cranny secret in Super Mario World, but I also knew it in Super Mario Bros. 3 for the most part too. I had a great time playing it. I would play it on the original Nintendo, and then when Mario All Stars came out, I was playing the shit out of that too. It's a fucking fantastic Mario game. Like, there ain't no argument about that, but dude, Super Mario World, when that game came out, oh my god, that game was just a colorful beaut. It is a beauty, a sight to behold, and you have Yoshi. So, Super Mario World always takes the crown for me. So, folks, I know I kind of rushed through these games a little bit, but, we got to get down the list. Going down memory lane is always a fun time, if it's good memories. But next fucking, the final 9. Final 9 is the finale of this thing. We're going to get through it. Who knows when? Maybe it'll be a month from now, but we will get through it, folks, with you and your help. And you guys have been here the entire time, right? You've been here the entire time. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. I recommend you checking out this list. See what Japan likes and see what you like, and maybe you can make your own list or something. But let me know down in the comments below if any of the games I listed, if you think of where their place is, where they should be, or where would you place them, right? Where do you think the proper place would be? But hey, it's always fun to just go through lists like this and just see what the other side is saying, or the other people and what they like. I'm completely shocked every time I go through this list, because I don't expect Japan to have this game here in this spot and then in this spot. Surprises all around. So, folks, I've been your host, NikoTheLegend, also known as the well-mannered teenager, the snowflake, rambling idiot, and vigil. I hope you did enjoy, and we're almost to 1,000 subscribers. We just got to keep it going. This series with the Japan Top 100 doesn't get many views, but YouTube doesn't care about the algorithms for this shit anyway, I guess. But I thought you guys would be curious enough to keep going with the list and everything, and just to talk about it. I kind of wish I had a special guest to do this with, because, well, this list would never get done, because it'd just be talking about all these different gameplay elements and stuff, and, more in-depth. I'm just trying to kind of glaze over this as best I can, just so we can get through this. But it's still fun to do. Anyway, like I said, NikoTheLegend, I hope you did enjoy, folks. Take care, Pathfinders, and I shall see you again.